Hi guys, welcome to this edition of Pacemaker Diaries. Thank you ever so much for tuning in. If you are new to my channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon so you'll be notified anytime when I do any uploads for you guys here exclusively only on youtube.com. And this is a massive shout out to Hale Rowe. That is Hale Rowe. He left a comment on one of my recent unboxings towards my comedy collection that I actually added over this past weekend, and I said to he wanted to see my sitcom collection. Well, like I mentioned in that video, that I was going to do it in two parts, one American, one British. Today will be British, and probably over the next coming week it will be the American stuff, because I haven't got that many to go through on that one, to be honest. So I thought, well, I'll start with the British, because obviously I'm in the United Kingdom, and quite honestly I'm glad to have the sim collection. And yes, at some point I will decorate my room to get rid of these walls. I don't like the giant cobwebs though. The camera keeps focusing on my phone. But that don't know what time this will be uploaded, so I'm recording this mid-afternoon. I spent all morning sorting these out because, like I said, I bunged them all on a shelf, and quite honestly I need a new unit because look, it stretches all the way down to this on this small unit here, and then I'm overlapping it on the top. So that's why I stress I may need about maybe 2, maybe 3 new units now. So I've got space to add to my collection, as well as obviously that unit there, like I showed on my Blu-ray collection. That was my games, by the way. I moved them out of the way. That's completely chock-a-block now. There's no space for more Blu-rays unless I stack them up there, overlapping on that. That's what I didn't want to do. But more to the point why you've tuned in. So I'll start off with this because, quite honestly, I'm currently watching Mrs. Brown Season 2 on DVD. Yes, I don't see the point when this first came out. I didn't want to watch it on Blu-ray. So as follows, it starts with Mrs. Brown's Boys, and then obviously, I mean, absolutely fabulous. Then Mrs. Brown's Boys, Season 1, 2 and 3, and obviously the live editions I've got off my shelf at the moment because obviously the ceiling's kind of low towards the top, so I've got to organise that. Then pan down towards Benidorm Season, I think I've got 1 to 6. I need to get 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. I've got Faulty Towers, Death Doers Part, Alf Garnett, both seasons from the ITV set that was actually released. They lost numerous of episodes in the past, that's why there's probably a year or two apart. And I've got Death Doers Part, obviously the movie, if you didn't know that was released. That is actually on DVD. I picked that up pretty reasonable price, that's why I paid for it. Then obviously, like I said, in Sickness and Health, Season 1 to 5. Then I've got below that Thin Blue Line with the likes of Ron Atkinson. That's obviously the main chief, and then obviously you got Patrick Truman. I forget his name, but he was in Love by Neighbour as well. So I've got that, and then I've got Cannonball 1 Season 1. I mean Cannon and Ball Season 1. Don't get it mixed up with Cannonball Run, because quite honestly, this is a comedy duo from the north, and they were fantastic growing up watching them. I'd love to see them live at some point if they're still touring, because I know there's a few live DVDs out there. Speaking of Love by Neighbour, that's the complete box set of Love by Neighbour with obviously the movie included. I mentioned that the other day. I finally watched that once again, and my god, that's so offensive. And how has that got only a 12 certificate? It's beyond me. Then at the bottom I've got Gimme 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 with Kathy Burke. I forgot the guy who plays the gay guy. He's in Thin Blue Line as well. And I got Black Book. And Dinner Ladies is that orange strip. The complete Blackadder set. Surprised they never did a Blackadder the movie, to be honest. Then pan down, Steptoe the movie, and Steptoe the movie Rides Again. Then I've got all the Steptoe and Sons, including the Christmas specials. Then I pan down, I've got Hello Hello, like the complete lot. This is not in no order, I just chucked it on there. So at the top I've got Not Going Out, and then obviously got Jethro Live. I haven't got that many stand-up DVDs but at the moment, but I plan to invest in the near distant future. Not Going Out with Lee Mack. It's fantastic. It's a decent British comedy on BBC. Then I've got Bottom. I've obviously got Bottom and Young Ones, but obviously Young Ones I haven't put up there yet because obviously, like I said, I'm getting close to the ceiling. Don't want to get too close to it. And then I got Gavin and Stacey, and then panning down Lee Mack, Bottom Live. Oh, that's where Mrs. Brown season 2 case of put it. I should have put that with the other one. I think they're releasing season 4 soon. I can't think. I need to get round up Mrs. Brown's, that chat show one they released, and then I've got Coupling. That was dubbed as the British version of Friends, if I recall. It's not entirely like Friends. They go to a bar instead of a coffee shop, if I remember rightly. Not Going Out again. Joe Pasquale live. La, la, la. Lame impression of Joe Pasquale for you there. Coupling, Johnny Vegas, Anyone for Ice Cream. Picked that up because it was cheap. Eddie Izzard, fantastic comedian. And then obviously the best of the comedians. Obviously they're mixed in between there as well. And then panning. Obviously I include sitcoms as well as comedy dramas all in this video. That I've actually got. I do apologise if you heard my mum shouting at DJ. He's going through that moment when he's taking advantage of his brother. If you know what I mean. Not birds and the bees, it's birds and the birds, and then vice versa. But anyway, recently I got this from my sister for Christmas. Obviously, the complete Cold Feet box set. Men Behaving Badly, the 6-pack one. I need to get the Comic Relief one, but that's quite expensive compared to probably this was. I'm not expecting world's best. Rising Damp, the complete one, includes the movie. I had to double check them because obviously it saves me looking for it. Sites, which I've recently unboxed for you guys. Some others do have them. Good old Frank Spencer. Every single one, including... I'm surprised they never made a movie of that. Same with Sykes. You know, when BBC had that thing about making people into movies at times. You know, when it comes to like stand-up comedies. French and Saunders, the complete box set. French and Saunders at the movie. French and Saunders live. And French and Saunders still alive. That was their last ever live show. Then I've got the Morecambe and Wise complete movie box. Well, I'll say it's a box set. I was surprised they only did 3, even though I watched all 3 growing up. I thought they did a lot more than they was portrayed, obviously, because you look at clips from the BBC years, which is included all in this fine 20 disc set, if I recall. Yeah, it's 20 disc set. It's a fantastic set to have if you love comedy duos, and these are, if not the best in the world, still to this day, I find hilarious. And they are the best doing sketches, everything. There've been people try to mimic them over the years, and quite honestly, I know this is a big thing to say, but the nearest to it you're going to get modern day is Anton Deck, and that's saying something. You know, I would love them to do their own show once again at some point. Then I got the only one that's been released so far is the Morecambe and Wise, the LWT series. I think they only ran for 1 series. I could be wrong. Anyone that's diehard Morecambe and Wise fans are going to correct me, I know that. Oh yeah, I got Rockin' Chips. I think I've got the other ones, obviously up the top, and obviously I've got the Rock and Roll Files, obviously with Matt Lucas and David Williams, the pre-stuff what Little Britain's known for now, sort of but they're taking the mickey out of certain people. And then I've got Bless This House, including the movie, in this beautiful, beautiful box set. The rear one with the fat cases, but obviously I've got the thin cases. But sometimes I don't like that, but I've got to have it in my collection. One Foot in the Grave, the complete box set right here. The thing is, with One Foot in the Grave, I'm surprised they didn't do a spin-off movie of Victor Meldrew, to be honest, at some point, because obviously, like, I'll get duration on some of these Then I move across, but I know I put Men About the House in the wrong part because that's obviously this spin-off series for whatever's next to it is known and behold George and Mildred. I've got all 5 seasons there. Fantastic series to have. I think George and Mildred did a movie, if I recall, but I've got to look for it on DVD. Heidi High, the complete box set. That was one of the first ones I got in a chunky case, which I don't like them because they kind of hog all so much space. Then Hale Rowe mentioned that he's currently watching this. Is obviously all 4 seasons of You Rang My Lord. I've got the complete Mr. Bean. This ain't a bootleg, by the way, just so you know. This is the way it was shipped, and obviously the way they actually sold it. They got a bit lazy sometimes with old classics, and that's just my that's just my prerogative on it. Then I've got Mr. Bean, the complete box set of the animated series. Then I've got the 2 movies here. Then obviously I've got all On the Buses. I still need to get On the Buses the movies towards this collection. I bought it twice because I told the manufacturer that where I actually ordered this from, told them one of the discs was messed up and they're not playing. She was like, okay, then fair enough, we'll send you another copy. Funnily enough, they never requested the other one back, so technically I've got that 2 versions. Then I've got Goodnight Sweetheart, the complete box set. I don't know if they actually released it in this or yet, but it's all 6 seasons. But when that came back, I'm really surprised they haven't released. I think it's the 7th series yet on DVD. Then you look at Ain't It Our Fault, Mum? Obviously, the general, whatever you want to class it, he passed away recently. God rest his soul. He was fantastic in this. I loved watching this as a kid, and I loved watching it once again when I actually purchased this in a month-love bundle of DVDs. And quite honestly, to say that bundle of DVDs, including postage, including this, cost me £8. It was still a steal because this normally goes for about £15 to £20, maybe more now on eBay. Then obviously I pan across, and then I've got all the Only Fools and Horses. I want to get rid of these at some point to get that ultimate 30th anniversary set for collectors wise, collection reason wise, and obviously get rid of these because obviously they're hogging space, and I can actually house some of this stuff down here for the time being. Then in no particular order, I've got the Monty Python, the Flying Circus. Obviously I didn't put them in number order, even though it's point blank range of the 4 seasons that are here. Then next to it, it's a bit faded. It's not my doing, it's the way the salad sent to me. I only won it for £1. I could not complain. All 4 movies of Monty Python, that's why I put it next to it. Then only when I laugh. That's a fucking fantastic series to actually have in my collection, quite honestly. Speaking of which, I missed off the Likely Lads next to Victor Meldrew and whatever happened to the Likely Lads. Do apologise about that. This is a great series to get hold of if you haven't got it. It ran on Channel 4, if I recall, when I was watching it as a kid, and then I watched it on DVD. It's got early days of Richard Wilson on there when he started doing comedy sort of thing. I think Only Fools no, One Foot in the Grave followed it. I do apologise if that balls up. Next to it, I've got Going Straight. I know I've got to put them in the other way around. And then I've got Porridge, the complete box set. Seasons, including the movie. Open on All Hours, including the movie. I'm surprised they didn't do Open All Hours, the thing. Speaking of movies, I didn't mention it. I do apologise. Are You Being Served as well as the movie? What the hell was it with me not mentioning that? Then next to it, I've got the Royal Family, the complete 3 seasons, season 1 to 3. They never released Nana's Death, that sad one, before they actually did. And I'm surprised they never released a one where the mum because obviously she tragically passed away in real life. I'm surprised they didn't do a special towards her, but obviously the cast members probably not opted for it. There's not many cast members left from this. I think Jim Royals left, Ralph Little's left. Oh, what's her name who played Sulla? You're going to put it in the comments, I know you will do. Anyone that's watching this. Ralph Little's girlfriend, the vegetarian one. Oh, what's her name? Mine fucked just now. So I do apologise. She's still around. I think it's Norma. Kathleen Quinton's best friend. But obviously Kathleen Quinton's not here no more. The one who plays Nana is not here no more. It's sad to think how many comedy legends have gone over the years. The complete episodes of Terry and June, I think there was actually... This was technically... I think it was, I wasn't 100% sure, but I think this was actually a spin-off from Bless This House. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. Sorry about that, I just had a phone call randomly interrupt my video. How rude. But still. Anyway. I've got Old Terry and June. I think that was actually a spin-off from Bless This House. I know people would correct me if I'm wrong. And then I've obviously recently got The Detectives. Then I've still got Dad's Army. This one is All These Thing Cases with the two Ronnies. Obviously I've got the lid on the other side of the room. Sykes that I've recently inquired towards my collection. And then obviously all this was Last in the Summer Wine that I got within the last couple of years. I got it all complete like this, no bullshit here, for 40 quid. Still blows my mind having it for that price, because individually they normally go for a lot more on eBay, let alone the complete box set sold all together in those big chunky cases. It goes for a lot more too. So that's pretty much all my British comedy collection. I'm not going to rerun through it. Obviously you can always backtrack and see where I actually got up to, but I hope this answers your question. Obviously I've got to do a video on that possibly next week, after me taking the time to organise this. Not obviously in release order, I'm not that freaking anal, but this is all my British comedy collection to date. So I hope this answered your question, and I just wish he did a video so I could actually see his collection on a video. So, but anyway guys, thank you ever so much for tuning in, and I will catch you soon. And remember, you know what to do, hit that subscribe button. Like 126 of you guys have now hit that subscribe button, as well as that bell icon. I can't thank you enough for you guys supporting Pacemaker Diaries here exclusively on youtube.com. And obviously follow me on my social media at GaviNots on Twitter. Interact with me there, or you can interact with me in the comments. I'm always open to conversations throughout both platforms. But until next time, catch you guys soon.